Welcome to Math with Professor V. In this video, we're going to go over the foolproof way to master integration by parts and setting up the formula. That way you never forget it. A lot of the time my students will take a little bit of a break from doing integration by parts and then they jumble things up. But let me show you the way that my calculus teacher taught it to me over 20 years ago, and it's never left me. So here's your integration by parts formula. You're given an integral in this form, okay? You have to decide what's going to be u and what's going to be dv. And then from there, you need to rewrite your integral as uv minus integral v du. Well, you're picking u and dv. You need to find du and v. So that's basically the setup, the way I have it stacked right there. You pick u, you pick dv, you find du, and you find v. And then how do you set up the formula? Well, look, it's u times v, this portion right here, u times v. So you just take this diagonal product, u times v, minus the integral, and then this is v times du. So then you minus the integral, or you subtract the integral of that horizontal product, that row down there, v times du. And then that's equal to your original integral, u dv. I always set it up like this, u dv in the top row, beneath it duv, and I'm just like on autopilot. I do this diagonal product, which goes here, minus integral, this horizontal product. And like I'm saying, it's stayed with me all these years. Thank you, Mr. Glick, my AP Calculus teacher in high school, because it has stayed with me. So let's work through 3 examples to practice using this setup, and hopefully you'll see that it really stays with you. Okay. First one, we have integral of t to the 4th times natural log of t dt. So if you want to go ahead, pause the video, try it on your own. I'm just going to jump right in. So we're going to pick u and we're going to pick dv. Now here's the thing that will help you with this method. Remember, you integrate the product of this row down here. So after you find du and v, what you end up integrating is this product. So you want this product to be nice and cute and something that you can integrate. And I'm looking here, ln of t. Now, unless you've been doing integration for a long time, you probably haven't memorized the antiderivative of natural log of t. That's not one that you usually know off the top of your head when you're starting calculus 2. So let's put that as u. We know his derivative, so I could very easily find du, no big deal, but I don't know his antiderivative, right? And then what should be dv? Well, it makes sense, whatever's left over, t to the 4th dt. Remember, this entire expression needs to be u times dv. Nothing should be extra, nothing should be left behind. So t to the 4th dt. Good. Okay, now here's a pet peeve of mine. Your notation needs to be perfect if you're doing math. dv, right? This is a derivative differential. You need to have a d on the other side. Just like right here, du, when I take derivative of natural log of t, it's going to be 1 over t. Don't stop there. You need a dt, okay? And then v, you're just going to take the antiderivative of t to the 4th. So it's 1/5 t to the 5th. We don't put the plus c. Okay, so now how do we integrate? Well, you're going to take diagonal product, u times v. That goes outside the integral. You're like, woohoo, I don't have to integrate that ln of t. Exactly, that was the point. So 1/5 t to the 5th times natural log of t minus integral of this horizontal product, v du. So we have 1 over t, 1/5 t to the 5th dt. Good? Okay, now let's just clean up, bring it on home. So we've got 1/5 t to the 5th, natural log of t, minus, take your constant outside always, 1/5 integral, t to the 4th dt. Are you ready? Yeah, I just cleaned up. This t cancels with the t to the 5th. Okay, I figured you should have that under control by now. So 1/5 t to the 5th, natural log of t, minus, I'm going to add 1 to the exponent, divide by that new exponent, so I'm going to pick up another 1/5. So this is 1 over 25, t to the 5th, plus c, box it with pride, and just move on. Good? Okay, let's look at another example, a little spicier. We don't do baby examples all day and night over here on Math with Professor V. Oh no, we get you ready for your exams. Okay, so we have integral of cosine inverse of x dx. This is a classic problem. I love putting one of these on my exams. Okay, so we have to pick u and we have to pick dv. Now, anytime you see an inverse trig function, good chance it's going to be u, because we don't know their antiderivatives, but we do know their derivatives. And remember, you don't have to integrate u, you integrate this product here. So it sounds like that's going to be a good choice. So let u be cosine inverse of x, and dv is just going to be what's left over, which is a 1 dx. Perfect. Now you find du and you find v. So how do we find du? We take the derivative of cosine inverse of x. So yeah, you need to just know that that's negative 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared dx. It's the same as the derivative of sine inverse of x. It just has a minus sign in the top, which should make sense. And then v, well, what's the antiderivative of 1 dx? It's just x. Okay, so here we go. We're ready to roll. So you're going to have u times v, so diagonal product. So x cosine inverse of x minus integral of this horizontal product, which is x times negative 1 over square root of x squared dx. So this minus sign is going to switch this. Now it's a plus. And then I have x over square root 1 minus x squared dx. Good? Okay. Now from here, depending where you are in your math career, we're going to need to do another substitution, okay? You could either do it in your head if you're pretty comfortable, or if not, I'll write it out for you. So by parts is not the way to go. I noticed that the degree of the numerator is 1 lower than the degree of what's underneath the radical in the denominator, so it's time to do another substitution. I can't use u substitution because I already assigned the letter u to represent cosine inverse of x. So you can't say all of a sudden mid-problem u is 1 minus x squared. Whoa, we can't do that. So instead, let's just pick a different variable, something nice. How about t? Let t equal 1 minus x squared. And then dt is going to be negative 2x dx. Well, all I see is x dx. So let me get rid of that negative 2. So negative 1/2 dt is x dx. Okay. So just rewrite what you have, like bring that x cosine inverse of x down. Don't stop writing it. And then we have plus integral. So this x dx gets replaced with negative 1/2 dt. And then you have over square root of 1 minus x squared. That was what we called t. Okay? Good. Now just clean it up so we can integrate. So x cosine inverse of x, let me put minus 1/2 integral t to the negative 1/2 dt. And then from there, we're ready to roll. So x cosine inverse of x minus 1/2. Add 1 to the exponent, so you'll have t to the positive 1/2. Divide by the new exponent, so multiply by the reciprocal, plus c. Oh, so cute. The 1/2 and the 2 will cancel. What a dream come true. So then this is x cosine inverse of x minus the square root. T to the 1/2 is square root of, what was t? 1 minus x squared plus c. Beautiful. So yes, sometimes you have to use more than one integration technique in a problem to bring it on home. Okay. Last one. Nice and interesting little problem. And it's my mother's favorite. So if you're in her class in Calc 2, don't be surprised if this pops up on your exam. Okay, we have integral of x e to the 2x over 1 plus 2x squared dx. So you might have to play around with it and guess a couple different things for what works for you and dv. I'll let you pause the video, try it on your own, you guys. It's always good to try, get stuck before you just jump right in and watch me do everything. Okay, so how to pick u and how to pick dv. So I have to say, when I first tried this problem, I didn't get it right. So don't be upset with yourself. You have to kind of be a little bit clever. We're going to let u be x e to the 2x, and then dv is 1 over 1 plus 2x squared dx. Okay. Now, let's find du. Yes, we need to use the product rule because we have a product of two functions. I have x times e to the 2x. So derivative of x is 1. Leave e to the 2x alone. Now leave x alone. Derivative of e to the 2x is e to the 2x times 2. Don't forget your chain rule. Dx. And then notice, do you notice, we can factor out e to the 2x from both of these guys? So I can write this as e to the 2x times 1 plus 2x dx. Okay, it's a little more work than normal to find du, but it's okay. Now, how do we find v? Look at what dv is. If you're just starting off, maybe you need to actually write out a little substitution off to the side, okay? If you're pretty comfortable, you can realize this is 1 plus 2x to the negative second dx. If you need to do a substitution, let your variable like t be all of this, 1 plus 2x. Otherwise, I'll show you the shortcut. Add 1 to the exponent. We divide by the new exponent. And then because there's this constant, right, in front of x, if you were to do the substitution, all that would happen in your integration is you pick up a 1/2. You divide by that coefficient. You're undoing the chain rule, right? If you were to take the derivative, when you do the chain rule, you would multiply by 2. When we're integrating, we're anti-differentiating, we're going the other way, so you divide by the constant that's out front. And that'll save you having to do a whole substitution. I have a video on that, actually. There it is. I know. So if that just felt freaky, maybe go watch that other video. I'll link it in the description. This looks disgusting. Let me write it as negative 1 over 1 plus 2x. Do you feel better a little bit? With the 2, the 1/2. Let's do it like that. Is that okay? All right, cool. So here we go. This is going to equal u times v. Let me get a cuter color. U times v is all of this. So we'll have x e to the 2x times negative 1 over 2 times 1 plus 2x minus integral v du. So it's going to be this product, this guy times this guy. So let's see, we've got here e to the 2x times 1 plus 2x dx. And then this negative 1/2, how about I put it out here and make it positive 1/2. And then we've got 1 plus 2x in the bottom. Ooh, do you see how beautiful? Yes, yes, you do. Okay, let me clean this guy up. It's grossing me out. Let's just put that x e to the 2x in the numerator with the negative 1, like this. Okay, that's better already. And then 2 times 1 plus 2x, cute, plus 1/2 integral. And then, yes, cancel party time. 1 plus 2x is gone. And then you have e to the 2x dx. Okay. Again, we don't need to do a substitution. We can just think backwards. So just leave this term out here. Okay, if you were to take the derivative, okay, of e to the 2x, it would be 2 times e to the 2x. So if you're taking the antiderivative, if you're integrating and going the other way, you're going to divide by 2. You're going to divide by that coefficient. Save yourself the stress. Don't do a u sub. So you're going to have 1/2 times another 1/2 e to the 2x plus c. And we're done. Oh, look at that. So negative x e to the 2x over 2 times 1 plus 2x plus 1/4 e to the 2x plus c. There you go. Bada bing, bada boom. So hopefully this little setup will carry you and serve you well. Obviously, if you can use tabular integration by parts, even better. I'll link my videos. I have a couple on tabular as well. And if you're studying calculus right now, don't forget that I have my complete calculus courses available at professorvmath.com. Calculus 1 and 2 are fully launched and Calculus 3 is coming soon. Each course includes organized lessons, guided notes, practice exams, exam prep resources, and all my video lectures in one place. So if you're trying to get ahead this summer or strengthen your foundation before next semester, check out professorvmath.com. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll be back sooner than later.